Hey everybody, Mike here at Anime Tutorials, and welcome back to a new video. Alright guys, well as you can see in front of you, today we're going to model a knife, and I loaded the reference image. I'll make that available to you, so you'll find the link below. And that said, let's get started with our model. Alright, so I'm just going to jump to my perspective view, and I'm going to start with the handle. So this is the only reference image I have, so we're going to take it from here. I'm going to take a polygon cylinder. I'm going to hit E to rotate it and hold down J to snap it in sections of 15 degrees. I'll hit W to move it forward, or alternatively push my reference image back. And we'll just hit Control A so I can see where I'm at. That's all good. We'll set this to 0. All right. So it's centered and centered. Okay. So first what we're going to do is we're going to check our poly count here and so forth. So let's see what we got. It's 20. I'll set the caps to 0. That should be good. And actually, let's not do that because we can fix the n-gons later in a more easy way. Okay. All right, let's switch views. We're going to go to this view right here. We're going to hit R to scale it in until we roughly have what we need for a start section. F to zoom in again. I'm going to hit 5 for shaded mode and make sure I got my X-ray turned on up here. All right. So hit R again. Let's pull that in. Hit R to kind of pull that out a bit. Hit W to move it over to about there. Okay. Now keep in mind that this is somewhat distorted view, so that is not what you would normally see. We're just going to jump into this view right here. We're going to right click at a face, and we're just going to select these faces here. I hit 4 for wireframe mode so I can make sure that I don't select anything that I shouldn't, like this guy right here. So we're all good. I'm going to go to edit mesh and extrude. Hit W to pull that out. Let's switch back. Okay. So from here on, I'm just going to follow the top line there. And if I need a higher radius, I'll extract that. Okay. So I'm going to hit G to repeat, W to pull out. Okay. And maybe hit R to slightly scale that up. Not too much. Okay. G to repeat again, W to pull out. And again, we're going to hit R and kind of flare that out just slightly. G to repeat, W to pull out. And that's how we're going to follow the handle. So again, hit R, W to kind of bring that down a bit. There we go. G to repeat, W to pull out to about there. That's not bad. GW again. And R to scale it out just a bit. GW. And R to scale out and bring down. G to repeat last command. We'll pull that out to about there. We're going to hit R once again to scale. W to pull down. That's pretty close. G to repeat once again. This time around, we're going to do that little small section here. And we'll hit R and kind of flare that out, and then hit W and bring that down a bit. And that needs to come in just a little bit. So hit R and pull it back in like so. G to repeat, W to pull out, and then we'll kind of follow to the end there. And that looks all right. Okay. So that's that so far. We're going to hit 5 for shaded mode. Now that's going to be fairly flat, so we're going to right click and go to object mode, hit R to kind of push that in. Let's have a look, maybe a bit more. Guess that's about it. Yeah, cool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to insert edge loop, option box, single setting. Let's add one at the end right there. Oops, that's one too many. One right there, just to hold that shape. That looks all right. And then we're going to have those two little sections where we have the tricolor band going on. One we already have over there, that's fine. We'll have one, let's do that right here. Looks about right, yep. Hit Q on our keyboard. And then from this end, we're gonna select this, right click on the face, select those. For wireframe mode, and as you can see, that's always a good idea to do because sometimes you select stuff that you don't want selected. I try to avoid that, but come on. Okay, and one little issue right there. All right, so we got that. So we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. Hit W to pull that out. 5 for shaded mode. Let's see, thickness-wise, that looks okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit R, and we're going to pull that down like so. And then hit W. Just make sure I'm still in the correct position here. Let's bring that down. So we'll bring it to about there. All right, we're gonna right click on a vertex, drag select these vertices, hit R to kind of flare them out quite a bit. Let's do a bit less and then hit W, push it down and hit E and kind of rotate that slightly. And then let's see what we got here. We're going to go to Insert Edgeloop tool. We'll add one right there. And then from there, we'll right click on Edge. Double click on that edge. Hit R. And then hit W. Bring that down. R to scale it back a little bit. We want it to be roughly okay there. It's always tricky to find the right balance. And I'll right click at our vertex. I'll take these, bring them down. And let's see what we have so far. There we go. Okay, so that front end is fairly round. We need to correct that a little bit. So we're going to drag select these vertices. Make sure we have all of them. Hit R and then kind of push that in. Yeah, that works. Then we're going to go to Insert Edgeloop tool once again. We'll add one right there. And then we'll add one right there. And what we'll do is we'll add one right here. And hit Q on our keyboard. Right-click object mode, hit 3 to preview smooth, which will give us this. Let's have a close look, make sure it looks okay from all angles. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So I want to go back. We're going to go up to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it instead of a preview. All right, that's good. Then let's have a look from this view. All right. Now the cool thing about this is I wanted to apply a kind of striped texture, and in the original they're not spaced evenly, so I want to have the same in my model. And the way these edges turned out, that looks to be fine. So we're cool. Okay. So let's look at the blade section. For that, I'm going to start with a Polygon Cube. And we're going to hit R, and we're going to push that in. I'll have a look from the top. I have to zoom in. Let's close that out. Hit W to bring that in a bit. And R to push that into about there. That looks all right. And then first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch views. Let's turn off our X-ray for a sec here. And we're going to right click and go to vertex. Take that vertex, hit W, bring that up, and bring that in right there. And then we'll take these two. And we'll bring it in right there. Take that one and bring that up to right there. So let's turn that on again. Okay, so we got that. And let's bring that into about there. And take that one and kind of bring that down. All right. All right, let's bring that one forward just a bit. So we kind of got this angle going on here. Okay. And then from there, we're going to zoom in. Okay, we're going to right click on a face. We want to add an edge in that face there, which will have this line over here. So we're going to go in and insert Edgeloop. We'll do one there. Then we'll go in here and we'll adjust the height on that. So hit Q on your keyboard, right click vertex, drag select, hit W and kind of bring that down. And just to keep things a little bit symmetrical, we'll move that one down as well. And now we can start to extrude that section, okay? And actually we're going to extrude both. Let's see, yeah, we are. So we're going to right click on a face. And we're going to go to edit mesh and extrude. Hit W and pull that out, okay? So from here, what we're going to do is pretty much follow the process that we did in the handle. So we're just going to focus on the top there, okay? And the rest we're going to fix later. So we're going to do G to repeat, W to pull out, G, W, G, W. Just keep on going. All right. So now that we have that, what we know is that the top section of the blade going from this end to that end should become thinner as we move forward, okay? So looking at the top, what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click and go to vertex. We're gonna start with this one. Let's hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can see it okay. And we're gonna hit R and we're gonna start to move that in like so. And then we'll take these and we're just slowly going to model these vertices towards something that looks convincible as far as a knife blade goes. So that's all right. We are going to smooth this, so that's good. Then we're going to look at that edge up there. So we're going to go in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag select this vertex, hit W, and we're going to start to move that up. Okay. So we'll just drag select it and don't click on it. Make sure you drag select it. And let's follow that. Almost there. And this one, we're going to move here. All right. And then we're going to take the section down here and let's see if we need to add additional geometry. And that's probably likely, as you can see over here, but that's fine. We're just going to pull them straight down. Okay, let's go back here. Right there, we need to insert an edge loop. So I can hit Q on my keyboard, right click at a vertex, and just take that, and W and bring that down there. Okay. Now, we're not quite there yet, because although that looks okay, from there, what we're going to do is we're going to take the vertices on the bottom end there and bring them together. So we're going to take all of these, and this, and this, and that one we'll do manually. And then we're going to hit R, and let's bring that way, way in. Okay. Now let's see, we're going to right click and go to object mode. Let's do a preview smooth, which is not bad blade wise, but we're not quite there yet. Hit 1 to go back. We're going to go and insert an edge loop. Hit 4 for wireframe mode. Let's bring that way in here at the end. On the top here, we're going to move one in. Let's hit 5 for shaded mode so we can see it better. And one over there. So that will hold the shape up there. And then this is a pretty important cut right there. We're going to right click at object mode once again. 3 to preview smooth. That looks okay with the exception of this section down here. So let's see, we're going to go to insert edge loop once again. There we go. Right click object mode, 3 to preview smooth. All right. Now, although I do like that, I want to have a much cleaner blade cut there. So I'm gonna right click and go to edge and double click on that edge there. And go to mesh display, harden edge. Let's see if that helps. Not really. Let's unsmooth. So what I'll do there is double click on that edge, go to edit mesh and bevel. Let's give that a sec. That should help. Right click object mode, 3 to preview smooth, 1 to go back. Okay, so we're gonna right click at object mode, we're gonna go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth. All right. And then we're gonna right click, go to edge, double click on that one and shift double click on that one. And we're gonna hit R to push these fairly close together. And let's make sure it's in the right position here. So let's hit Control Z. Okay. So we can't do that, it looks like. Right click object mode. And the only way, yeah, you can actually see it when the light's shining on it, you can see it. So the only way to truly see if that worked out okay is once we have our logo in place. I do want to kind of tweak things here a little bit. So from this angle, we're looking at this section right here. So I'm just going to mark these faces here for a second, so I know which ones we're talking about. And let's see what we can do there. I'll right click, come on, right click and go to edge. And what I'll do is I'll take that edge, I'm just giving it some thought, guys. Not quite sure. That's kind of the thinking process here, so apologize for that. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna right click and go to edge, and I'm gonna take these two edges. Come on, these two edges. Yeah, that's the effect that I want. So I'll right click, go to edge, take these four. Come on. I want that one as well. All right. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to add some color mask ID. So I'm going to right click at a face and I'm going to click and shift double click on that one. Hit shift period to increase my selection to about there. So that covered all of that. Okay. I'm going to right click, assign new material, and I'm just going to give it a random color so I can use it as my color ID map. Let's do a Lambert. And let's make that yellow. Okay. Now, then I'm going to do the end there. And we'll do shift period. And once more. So we've got all that. And then I'm going to go in from this view. And I'm going to shift drag select to deselect all of this stuff on this as well. So we just have the end there. Shiny material. Lambert. Let's do red. Then I'm going to do this one and let's see, that one. Shiny material. Lambert. Let's do something totally different. Now I want to have a little bit more brass going on here until this section. So I'm going to hit shift period. Control Z to go back one. That's the right line. I'll have to replace the green, but that's fine. Shiny material, Lambert. Let's do blue. And I'll just have to replace this one. All right. And then we have the wood section here. Hitting shift period, that's covered. That looks to be covered too much. So let's deselect that. Assign a material, Lambert, and we'll do that. All right. So, yep. Alrighty. And then we got this guy. And we'll right click assign a material. Let's do Lambert and take just any random color as long as it's something we haven't used yet. All right. So we got all that stuff going on. We're going to drag select this guy. And I'm just wondering whether I want to have different sections for the wood here. Actually, I kind of do. So what I'll do here is right click on the face, select that row, and I'm going to skip a row every time round. Because I kind of guess that will look cool. Hopefully it does. And I'll just do that one as well. Assign the material, Lambert, and I don't know. Let's do baby blue, whatever. Okay. So that's that. I'm gonna drag select the whole thing. Hang on, right click object mode, drag select everything, and make sure by everything I got everything. Gonna go to File, Export Selection, and we'll call this Knife FBX. Save it on our desktop. And now we're gonna jump over to Keyshot. See you guys in a sec. Right guys, here we are. So we're gonna go to File, we're gonna go to Import, and on my desktop, I'm gonna look for my Knife FBX. There we go. Let's try that again. Where did he go? Knife. Yep. I'm gonna use defaults. Taking a while, thinking about it. There we go. Okay, looks like a clown's knife, but we'll see. We're going to go to our materials. We're going to start off with using steel for our blade. We're going to use a basic, and let's use polished steel and bring that in. Okay, and we still have to light this and so forth, so we should be good. Then let's have something for the front in there, and we'll, let's see. We will use not aluminum, no, brass, yeah. And we'll use polished. And we'll use that here as well. Okay. And then at the end here, we're going to use something different. So let's, actually this black looks pretty cool for the bands here. And should be something like leather or so. Let's see, what are we going to use there? I'm going to quickly tweak the light a little bit so I kind of know what my final textures will look like. So I'm just going to use, let's use this indoor for a sec here. And then my background, just use a studio, white solid, so we can kind of see better what's going on here, okay? All right, at least we have a little bit of a better view. This is a kind of busy thing going on here, so I'm gonna go to my panels and use my overhead panel, which is, yeah, slightly better, okay. All right, so we still have the end here that we need to deal with. I'm gonna go back to my material. I'm gonna go to metal, and maybe, let's see, copper. Let's try something that looks a bit beat up. See how that looks. You know, that's actually not too bad. I kind of like that. So I'm going to use that here as well. And there as well. Okay. It's kind of beat up, so it's kind of cool. And then for these sections here, what we're going to do is we're going to use leather. All right. So I'm going to go to cloth and leather. Use leather, basic. And we'll use something that is dark brown, like so. And we'll do the same over here. Okay. Then we'll deal with the wood. So for that, we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to wood. Let's use traditional. And we'll use a light oak for that section. And then we'll use something more red for that section. Kind of works. Not quite there yet. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to go to textures, and we're going to go to wood texture, and let's use this for our wood as a bump. Let's see what we've got going on here. That's something that is not what we want at all. Let's turn our diffuse back on there. Okay, not quite sure what I screwed up there. Sorry about that. We'll fix that in a bit. Okay, so we got all that. That looks okay. Let's just go back to our metal for a sec. There we go. Okay, what else? I want to kind of have a logo up here, so I'm gonna double click on this. I'm gonna go to my textures. I'm gonna load a bump, and on my desktop, I created a normal map for this logo here. It needs to be resized. So let's see. I'm gonna go down to the mapping tool. I'm gonna use scale. So let's scale out a bit. I'm going to start to scale it down where I can still actually see what I'm doing here. I'm going to change box map into normal projection. There's our logo showing up. I'm going to scroll down. Let's see, I don't want to repeat it. I want to scale it down. So let's do 0.1 to try that. Getting closer, 0.05. 0.075. All right, then I'm gonna move it a little bit. So we want it to move an X to about there. Let's move it up a little bit. And we want to change, oh, that's too much. 0.2. Let's change the angle a bit. All right, and then let's move it over here. Okay, that's not bad. Now let's check the depth. 0.5, 0.25, 0.15. I kind of like it. So that's good. Okay, what else? We need to look at the wood texture here. So let's see. Okay, that's under opacity maps. Let's go under normal maps and let's see what we got. That's probably what I screwed up. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a heavy wood grain. Here we got scratches, which is kind of cool. Crackle. Let's do scratches. Okay. And let's do that as a bump. That should be good. And I just want to make sure that that's applied okay. And I'm not too thrilled with the detail of our wood, so we're going to double click on this material and we're going to resize it a little bit because I think it looks way too big. We're going to change plastic to advanced. Okay. Then we are going to go to textures. We're going to go to the mapping tool. And let's start to scale that towards something that looks more realistic, like real wood. Okay, now that's not bad. I kind of want to rotate it because it's a bit too straight. So that makes it look way cooler. Then we're going to double click on this guy. We're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to change plastic to advanced. I'm going to go into textures. I'm going to go into the mapping tool. We're going to scale this to a point where it's actually starting to look like wood, which is good. And then we're going to rotate that as well. Actually, maybe not in that direction. That's pretty cool. All right. That effect is much better. All right. So now that we have that, let's find a cool way to present our knife. So we're going to go and look at, first of all, let's see, lighting. We're going to go with the full simulation. Then we're going to turn off interior mode. All right. Now we're not going to use the lighting that we have so far. So what we'll do here is we'll go into lighting, and let's see. Just give me one sec, guys. I'm just looking for something here. Okay, environment. We're going to use a color, and let's click on this color and find something to use as a background for our knife. I kind of like that red. Not too red, not too bright either. Let's just play around with that for a minute, okay? So lighting wise, I want to have kind of a good view of our logo because that kind of pops a little bit. You can kind of see that divide there. Let's play with the lighting. So we'll try an interior here. Let's do this one. Gives a lot more realism to the model, as you can see. That said, that kind of wants me to change out that color here. And to be honest, I'm liking this. All right. So we'll kind of set it up in a way. We don't actually have to be able to read the logo as long as you can kind of see that it's there. This kind of pops as well. So I'll look for a nice angle. Let's do that. Then I'm going to go to my settings here. Again, full simulation minus caustics. I'm going to go to my render view. I'm going to go to render tab. Let's call this knife perspective. I'll save this on my desktop and we'll do 1280 by 720 and 300 dpi. Okay, I'm going to hit render. I'll pause the video during the render and I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, guys, well, there you have it. There's our final render for our knife. I think it turned out okay. If you got any questions, as always, let me know in the comments section. And for those of you who are patrons to my site, you will find the entire file, including all the Keyshot files on the shared directory. And if you want to become a patron, you will find details below as well. All right, that said, thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.